I am in love with queerty.com. Best blog gay website ever. I go on it every day, several times a day. I love it. I love accidentalbear.com as much. They're my two top right now. Sorry, Tyler. Love you too, but I'm cheating on you with queerty. And a couple of days ago, queerty had a post about I'm from Driftwood. For those of you that don't know, that website, it's a website that came out 5 years ago. I'm not exactly sure about the date, but it's about coming out stories or GLBTQ stories, related stories. It's very good. Some of them are videos, some of them are written, and I remember it from I used to have a blog on Blogger, and what I used to do is do videos like this, but then I would rip whatever video from whatever thing I found and then insert it into my video. I'm not doing that now because I want copyright on everything that I post. So, but anyways, it's a really good, it's a really good site. Excuse me, that was my air. I had to turn it off. It's a really good site, and they were having an anniversary, and Queerty is posting sort of their best videos. I thought that's all great, and I want to be really careful about what I'm about to say, but I think. That we need more stories that are about people that have a coming out process and that it's not all positive. And what I mean with that is that you came out and, either your family rejected you or you're estranged from your family, and that somehow you found a way to either find a new family or find a way to hope or a new identity that was independent from that family. And the reason I say that is because of my own story. Without going into a lot of detail for it, I'm not really close to my family, and I'm going to say that a lot of it is a consequence of my coming out process. Now, disclaimer, I had a television show on Latin media for a while where I was out on the air. This is now 13 years ago. I mean, no one was out, and I was pretty aggressive and bold about it, and maybe that has a little bit to do with it, but still, I think that it's really important that we provide for I don't know, textbook, notebook way for people who are like, yeah, my family are assholes. Not everybody in my family is an asshole. I just don't want to go into detail with it. But so what if your family is an asshole? This does not only apply to gay people; it applies to people in general when they come into adulthood. And I think those stories are important to tell too, because in the process of coming out and coming to terms with who you are, I think truth is important for healing. And if it turns out that your parents are assholes, you need to acknowledge it, not to feed hate and anger, but so you can properly heal and mend and move on and create a new world for yourself, or a new solar system for yourself. So I think that's really important too. So I'm from Driftwood. Awesome work. Now, let's get on to telling other stories as well. As a gentleman of a certain age, I am 45, and I know I keep saying it because I think it is important, especially in the gay community, or a gay man after a certain age, it's like you died. And that's not so, you don't die. But the point that I was making with this is that as a gentleman of a certain age, I'm always looking for, call me Ponce Leon, I'm always looking for secrets, the fountain of youth, just tricks, because I know they do exist. And the reason I know they exist is because as a consequence of studying dance, I went to a conservatory school here, and I studied late in my life. I came across a lot of therapies that were not of the Western civilization, left brain way of thinking, but a different way of thinking. And I came to them skeptically, only to discover that a lot of them were very effective. I still think that you need to apply a scientific mind to them and be like, just because that works in general doesn't mean it works for me. You need to apply it. But I know that there are secrets, and I know that you can find a prescription for yourself of things that are not conventional. Anyways, that was a long way to explain what I'm about to explain. So I'm always on the lookout. But what I wanted to say with this is that one of the things that I've been practicing lately, and I've known about it for a while, is taking cold showers. Now, I know, especially for those of you that live in cold areas, that might be difficult, but hear me out. I always knew that there was something about cold showers related to kind of your endocrine system, and and I read somewhere that it increases your testosterone. That's all I need to hear, baby. That's all I need to hear. But there's more to it than that. I do think that taking cold showers does make you more virile, or it gives you more power or youth or just robustness. But there's a lot more to it than that, and this is why I'm making this post. It's true. It does make you stronger. I feel it. I feel it not only in my energy level, but I feel it in my muscles after workout. I feel it in my joints. It's rejuvenating towards it. And the method that I use is 5 minutes. I do it with a chronometer, 5 minutes, cold shower. I know it seems like a lot. But the reason for that is because I did a lot of research on it, and I did find all that increases your testosterone, it flushes out your organs, it's all this good stuff. But also, I came across this website. I came across this guy on YouTube, and then I saw that he did a TED Talk um, about how there's something about cold showers that makes you confront your fears, so to speak. That if you expose yourself to that pain, then you can apply that to other things. It works your discipline. And I have to say that it's true. I can be a sloth sometimes or a procrastinator. It's because I live with low grade anxiety. And there's something about taking those cold showers that addresses that immediately. So, having said that, 5 minutes. If you can't do 5 minutes, just work up to that. All right, so I love Dan Savage. I've said it here before. I think he's a great gay pundit, but I just also think he's a great political pundit in general, and also great for America's sexuality. Not only gay people, but just people in general. He's got a sex advice column called Savage Love, and I would say most of the people that write into him are heterosexuals, and I think that the internet has sort of been a vehicle for America to come out of the closet with all their fetishes and what's considered alternative behavior, which what he says it's not really alternative. We're all freaks in one way or another. But I encourage you guys to go on the site because the way he can dissect a problem, analyze it, and counter argue is just second to none. I envy him because of the way he does it. I think he's so brilliant. But in particular, look for a letter that he had in his last post about a guy that needs to address an issue with his mom. His mom is sort of chastising him for this kind of behavior. And the way Dan composed the letter in response to the mom's um, chastising is brilliant. I mean, I read it like 70 times. It's so good. But just in general, check out Dan Savage.